wonderful. Good evening and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists, this wondrously warm village hall, as we, well, it's better than it has been. The heating is on and it's firing up, and we are creating and of course generating our own warmth as we welcome each and every one of you here this Thursday night to Littleport Village Hall. And of course, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and I've given Twitter the flick after last week. So welcome to everyone watching either now, live, or in the future, another day, sometime later in the week, or maybe even in years to come. You're all very, very welcome. And of course, when it comes to welcomes, there's one extra special welcome I would like to make tonight. It's been positively years since we last had her in the village hall, although she has been with us. Give it up. Big Littleport welcome, please, for the lovely Dora Sheridan! Now, of course, for those wondering, we haven't fallen out or anything. It's just there was this dastardly pandemic thing that stopped us all from leaving our houses. So we haven't been here to welcome you back, but it's such a pleasure and wonderful to see you. Of course, I was the lucky one out of us all because I still got to see Dora when she was passing by buying a certain type of chemically based product that I sell in my other job. So, and just for the record,
talking about petrol.
That is petrol, yeah. For the record, that is petrol. It's like, there you go, Dora. It was fuel. It was fuel. So it's a pleasure to have you back, my love. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful evening. And of course, all the normal order of service is here for us tonight. We've got a reading. I'll probably gobble off for a few minutes on some sort of topic spiritually based. And then, of course, we will have the healing. We will have the reading. We will have mediumship. But first, notices. Very important notice, of course. Should we need to evacuate the building, our exits are here, and through here. Yes, you can sneak through the curtain, and there is a door at backstage. It's backstage left for anyone who's wondering, which is your right. But a very, very important announcement. Next week, our medium will be Barbara Price. And of course, next week's a very important week when the veil really is lifted and when the spooky world comes to bear on confectionery and cake products and on the TV. And Coronation Street got the timing right because they're doing their Halloween a week early. Well, we're only doing it 4 days early because, of course, Halloween is the 31st. We're meeting on the 28th. We're having what is known in the trade by our principal minister, at least, as a fright night. So we're going to dress the place up in Halloween. We're going to have a big old shindig. And if you wish to come in fancy dress, you can. And won't that scare everyone who already worries about us doing what we do in here on a Thursday night? Especially if half a dozen, people wearing sheets and then a vampire, a witch, and Dumbledore go walking out the front door at the end of the service. They really will car themselves. Won't that be fun? So why not? Let's do it. I haven't done it in a few years, so I said, why not? Let's do it. And
especially after the dress last week.
Yes, absolutely, especially. So, friends, that is next week. So, if you want to dress up, do so.
And your birthday.
Yes, Mother, and it's my birthday. There will be cakes provided, won't there? So, yes, it is apparently not only my birthday, though, is it not, young lady? That caught you out. So, yes, apparently some bloke in a dog collar is turning 43 next week as well. So, apparently some people want to make a thing of that. I'd really rather sleep through it, but never mind. But we shall have fun and we shall have upliftment, and that's the main thing. Well, friends, let's begin our service, as we always do, with an opening prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love, of hope, and of friendship, to reveal the truth and the proof that life is indeed eternal. As we place this service in your care and keeping, Great Spirit, we make the statement as ever, that everything we do will be in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen. Amen. Well, of course, this is the point where I do go off on a tangent, and I do sometimes get on my broomstick / soapbox. But I have been instructed by my friends in spirit to keep it light this week. So we'll see how that one goes, because we know I always end up going off on a tangent, and they go off on a tangent, and somewhere we meet in the middle. But my friends, one of the things that I was thinking about this week, and don't worry, it might sound like it's going to start off all doom and gloom, but it really isn't. One of the things I was thinking about this week as I was watching, believe it or not, a TikTok. Anyone here on TikTok? It's quite fun sometimes, you know. There's singing cats, and you know, cats in a loop with music playing over the top, and occasionally some men decide to take the shirts off and dance as well, which is quite fun for those that like that sort of thing. Political, very, very steeped in this is my opinion and I'm going to share it. You know, and at one point I got stuck in a loop between atheists and really, really right-wing. I was really, really quite mardy about it. So I sent out a request for help. Rescue me. I want the singing cats back. And lo and behold, a few moments later, meow, 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 meow. Yeah. A cat meowing a song. It was wonderful because I asked and I got, I suppose. And we hear that an awful lot. Ask and you shall receive. You see, so many people so if you've heard it already, just hum like a cat to yourself. There's a man lived by a river, and he heard on the radio that that river was going to flood the whole town. And he stood there and he said, you know what? I'm a religious man. I pray to God. God loves me. God will keep me safe. I'll be fine. About half an hour later, the water was rising up. Man on a boat on what was the original high street, rowing past the house. Hey, you, up on the roof there, hiding from the rising waters. Jump down onto my boat. I'll take you to safety. I'm a religious man. I pray. God loves me. I'll be fine. Oh, okay. Off he goes. About half an hour later, when all that was left of the house was the roof itself, helicopter comes flying by. And the man get in the helicopter on the side, but obviously not the pilot, otherwise he'd have crashed. But the man in the helicopter with the pilot gets out his bullhorn. You down there, let me throw you a line. We will take you to safety. I'm a religious man. I pray. Off you pop. Of course, he wasn't safe. He didn't get saved. God didn't come riding into the rescue. And he drowned. And standing at the gates of St. Peter, he says, right, I was a religious man. I prayed. I want a meeting with him, the boss. You bring him to me right now. So God comes walking out, and she says, excuse me, humor. God says, what? I'm a religious man. I pray. I thought you cared about me. What am I doing here? God says, well, I was about to ask you the same question. I sent you a radio report, a man in a boat, even a guy in a helicopter. What are you doing up here? You should be fine. The moral of that story is obvious. But the truth is much simpler. We can ask for divine intervention. We can ask for help from a higher being. If you need to pass a maths test, are you going to pray to God or ask one of the living spirit around you that's really quite good at maths? If you need help because you're feeling down and depressed, you can pray for healing, but wouldn't it be a good idea to find someone to talk to who'll listen to you, give some good advice? If you've stubbed your toe, wouldn't it be a good idea, rather than praying for healing, to just go and get a sticking plaster and go and get an x-ray? We've got so much of what we need around us here with each other. Why do we need to leave it all to God when we can leave the really important stuff, the stuff where we really are stitched up, when there is no radio report, when there is no man on a boat, when there is no helicopter? That's when we ask for help. Because I tell you, my friends, we will get that help. But just like the man on the rooftop, it will come in ways that we least expect. It will come in ways that we're not expecting, because we will get what we need, not what we want. For example, if I were to pray out for a nice big red car and somebody offers me a blue one, oh no, I don't want that, I want the red one. How ungrateful is that? How rude is that? Interesting enough, somebody did give me a blue car. It was quite nice, and it's very, very speedy. And that beginneth the lesson about being careful behind the wheel. But no, my friends, the importance is to remember that we get what we need. But we must remember that we've got what we need around us. Friends, living spirit, family, people who will look after us, who care about us, who love us dearly. Let's take responsibility for the world in which we live. Let's take responsibility for the life that we live before we go seeking divine intervention. And the reason I say this is because one of the things that you will hear, especially if you get stuck in a loop on TikTok, the end times are coming, fire and flood and disease, The world is coming to an end, and the second coming will arrive. Well, I don't know about you, but if Jesus were to come back today, he'd probably have about a 3-week stint on Big Brother, an interview on Philip and Holly on This Morning, and then a couple of book deals, and everyone would ignore him. Because we've lost that path in wondrous, divine miracle. And to be honest with you, if you look at the world in which we live, based on any theology centered around one central figure, it always ends up that once they pop off out the way, other people who want to keep power will nick it, change it, take it for their own, and that message will be lost anyway. Why would they bother sending one person to do it again? Because one thing I do know about the world of spirit is that they learn. And they think, didn't work last time. Not really. Let's try it another way. So, for all the people that think the world is going to end, I always answer this. The world has ended for at least one person every minute of every day. But we are still here. So let's wake up and smell the water, or whatever else is in it. Let's smell the flowers and whatever scent I've decided to spray on them this week. And realise that we are here. We are the custodians of this life. We are the ones in charge of it. We are the ones, as we spiritualists would put it, that have personal responsibility over it. And let's make it a damn good one for each other, for ourselves. Because the power to rule your life is in your hands and no one else's. And I mean that. And it might not always feel like it. Sometimes it really doesn't feel like it. But so long as there is breath in my body, that's the one message that I will always share with you on behalf of the world of spirit. Your life, your rules. Enjoy it, live it, love it, don't waste it, and make your mark on this world. Be it for someone who takes the mick out of themselves on a Thursday night and has a good laugh, or someone who organises people and their lives and helps them with their maths tests and their difficulties in rooms in secret. Be it as someone who just sits and has a listen to someone who's in need. That's how we make our true mark in this life. That's how we live our lives to the fullest. So live it, love it, be happy. And that's why you're all allowed to dress up and be silly next week. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. And so now, friends, it's time for our read. I hope that wasn't too doom and gloom this week. Well. I did say worry, it might be a bit worrying, it might sound like it to begin with, but hey, you've got to paint your picture before you can, no, you've got to clean your canvas before you can paint your picture. Oh, I nearly got that off spout face, didn't I? Well, friends, now is the time for a reading to see if spirit are on the same page. She's looking worried. Ladies and gentlemen, our reading this week, because he's still picking taters, Samantha!
I read this last year, so we visited it tonight. It's called Have You Earned Your Tomorrow by Edgar Guest. Is anybody happier because you passed his way? Does anyone remember that you spoke to him today? This day is I want to utter now a kindly word of you. Did you give a cheerful greeting to the friend who came along, or a churlish sort of hellish pure and simple as you rushed along the way, or is someone mighty grateful for a deed you did today? Can you say tonight in parting with the day that's slipping fast, that you helped to sing brother of the many that you pass. In a single heart rejoicing over what you did or say. Does a man whose hopes were fading now with courage look ahead? Did you waste the day or lose it? Was it well or so spent? Did you leave a trail of kindness or a scar of discontent? As you close your eyes and slumber, do you think that God would say, "You've earned one"?
So thank you. I love how Spirit do that. And one of the things that I do in the philosophy and the read what was said in the address, rather than me just sitting at home ranting. Thank you, Sam. Lovely. And I'm sure you'll be sharing it online later for those that wish to own it. You've got a thing about Edgar Guest at the moment, haven't you?
Well, I read it.
So Hannah's got a thing about Edgar Guest at the moment. There you go. That's more like it, eh? Bless you. Well done. Lovely. Thank you. Well, friends, now is the time in our service when Jack gets woken up again. So, I'm joking, of course, because he's got a job to do. It is, of course, time to send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. It's one of those moments where we can be of service to our fellow human race by asking for something important. And, of course, asking for healing for yourself is, of course, equally important. And I recommend it for all those in need. So as we send out our thoughts, we will begin with the healing prayer. We will have some nice music, and then we will end with the word Amen. And everyone at home will get candles too. So let's join together as we send out our healing thoughts and say those wonderful words. Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. This we ask for those we know, for those we do not know, and for those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Well, friends, I'm reminded as we talk about healing and upliftment, and I'm reminded as we hear that lovely twinkly music, albeit intermingled with the sound of motorbikes and cars riding past the front door, that coming up on the 14th of November, there's an opportunity to heal oneself again. So for those that don't know, there's going to be a gong, I'm right in calling it a gong bath. Not gone bath, but a gong, as in dong, gong, bath. If you're interested, not dong, if you are interested, please see Steve or Tracy for details. I shall be there. I'm just really looking forward to it, actually. And I've been listening to things on YouTube of a similar ilk. So to be in the presence of it physically happening in the room with you should be, especially with the acoustics of this wonderful barn-like structure, it should be wonderful. So do have a chat and ask about that, because it's going to be brilliant. So friends, speaking of something that's going to be brilliant, and I'm not talking about the fact that I'm shutting up, although that is good too. Next is our demonstration of mediumship. She sat so very patiently through my ranting. She always does. She's used to it by now after all these years, especially when she comes to buy her chemical substance from me. But of course, now is our demonstration of mediumship. Should Dora come to you, please answer in a clear voice, yes, no, or don't know. It's not mattering to her or spirit, but it is mattering to the rest of us who are all nosy. And of course, do send your love and kind thoughts out to her throughout the rest of the evening for around about the next 40 or so minutes. So, friends, I give you big Littleport welcome, Dora Sheridan!
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone, and it's absolutely fantastic to be back. It truly is. For those who have not seen me before, you may have, but just in case you haven't, I'll just tell you a little bit how I work. I do see, hear, and speak to spirit, sometimes not always at the same time. So I usually throw the evening over to them, as they're the ones that are going to be working this evening. If I do come to you, if I can ask you just to talk to me as well, okay, not just a nod, because they love to hear your voice. That's why they hear. They can't hear when you smile or when you nod. So the more conversation you have, the better. Even if it's a no, that's a no, that's fine. It just means I have to work twice as hard. Okay, so that's good. Let's have a look where we're going to go first of all then. I'm so conscious of that why. You can see me going backwards and forwards. If I start falling over, it just rescue me. Okay. Okay, dads. I've got a dad straight away. That's coming this evening. First thing I want to say about this dad is, the first thing I'm noticing with him is he's a bit shortness of breath. That's the first thing I noticed with him. I wouldn't say hugely tall. So I do want to come down. I would just say medium height. His hair is grey. He's got sort of a wave in his hair here, as I'm looking at it, almost like a curve in his hair here. Okay. I'm looking at his hair. I would say he's very smartly dressed, but not only. I don't want to put a shirt and tie on this man, so I know that I'm rather casually dressed as I'm looking at him. I don't want to put him large in weight either, so I want to bring him in just to a medium size. Medium size. He's just laughing at me. He's so polite, this man. He's just nodding his head and thank you. Okay, let's see where we're going to go. Okay. I also think that this man would have passed in his early 70s. I'm hearing about 72, 73, but just vary that a little bit. That's how I'm sort of hearing it at the moment with him. I also feel that he was very, very proud man, very, very proud, and very honest chap as well. And he was very respectful towards others, very respectful. I do think that he would have served in his time in the forces, please, and I know he's taken back. So it felt like he was a lot. I'm almost feeling like I'm 17 when I'm serving. So I know that he took me back quite a long time backwards. Okay. But because of that, he has become very respectful. Let's have a look, see where he wants to go to. I do feel I'm more drawn over this side. So does anybody understand this one to me, please? Not yet? Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm also hearing the name Derek. Now that may not be his name, but it could be associated around family, please. Okay. Anyone there? Okay, with him. I'll tell you the other thing that he's just given me here is a torchlight. That would have been quite... I heard a snigger, sorry.
Hello.
Am I with you? Okay. So,
I was giving it the opportunity to go at, but I think there's a few people in the hall who'd already realised, especially when he was taking the mick out of his own weight. And yes, he would have said thank you for that, even though he wasn't.
So let me just recap some of that. So you would understand, not overly tall, I want to come down, like I said, in height.
Yes.
Yeah, really, really polite, very, very respectful chap.
Yes.
And I do believe he was in the forces.
He was wearing a uniform of a force because he wasn't allowed to join the force that he wanted to when he was 17.
Right, okay. When it was the 17, I felt that particularly was important. Do you understand? I'm feeling around about the early 70s when he would have passed.
He was 75.
75. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And again, I've got the hair here, quite grey hair
Yes.
as well with him. Okay. The torchlight is very relevant for some reason. He
Yes.
keeps giving me this torchlight, and just not quite sure why he's giving it to me at the moment. It feels like he just wants to show people the light. I'm just going to say what he's saying, it's easier. He wants to show people the light. He said because they don't often see it because their eyes are closed, he just said.
Yes.
Yeah, and by flickering the torchlight is a way of getting their attention, but for them to actually see clearly.
Yes.
Understand? But there's also another thing with this torchlight, and I know he keeps bringing this in, and I want to take it back to a memory link, please. It could be with yourself, or it could be somebody associated around him. It feels like I want to go out, and I'm out in the dark, but I need this torchlight. I'm looking for something here with this torchlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a million candle light dragon. He called it the dragon, and he used it like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker because it created this huge, massive beam.
Right. Okay. So that's why the torchlight was very, very relevant with him. Okay. As he's coming in, I feel like he just wants us. First of all, I get a sense of proudness with this man. Okay. And an honour to be in your presence.
Thank you.
He said, you've given so much to other people and so much to the world that you don't realise just how much you've given. And he had wished that he could have had the same opportunity when he was 17. And I feel quite tearful with this man because I know there's quite a lot of emotion built up there with him. Okay, and he's also saying to me that he appreciates that the world can be an incredibly difficult place to live in, but at the end of the day, it's worth living it. Yeah, because there is so much it can offer if people put the light on.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to give you a ring, please.
Thank you.
He said you would understand where that comes from.
Yeah.
And that comes from closer to home, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so. And also with that ring, I feel it's a man's ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to put this out there. Should this be your dad's ring, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So he said he's well aware that you have that. Okay. He said, wear it with pride, my son.
Thank you.
Okay. He's also saying to you that, okay, a bit on a lighter note now. I'm not going to make it that heavy. Okay. I want to plant some trees. There's something to do about trees here. We've got young growth. And again, he's looking on the wider aspect here. He's talking about planting young trees to watch them grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, understand that. He said, because that's what is important now. He said, and that's what everybody does need now is young growth.
Yes.
To see them grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that the trees are a bit symbolic as well. He said, by watching them, it gives you the appreciation of yet life again.
Thank you.
Okay. But there's also something about those trees, isn't there, with you? Okay. So, okay, give me just a little bit more. He's laughing here, actually. Would you understand that I'm just going to say this, no offence, but I'm not sure that you're the world's best gardener.
Yeah, but how long did it take and who had to come and help rescue me? I did plant things and I did start it, but it was finished by someone else.
You know,
to be fair.
do you know what he's just said?
Oh,
to that?
yeah.
He just says stick to the day job.
Yeah, if I can. And I planted 4 trees in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just watching those grow.
Thank you.
Watching those grow. But he said, okay, he said, you're better known for better things.
Thank you.
Yeah, he said, don't worry about the gardening. It will sort itself out. And don't worry about the trees. They'll live one way or another.
She's been worrying about that all year.
Okay, anything else you want to say to them now? Okay, now he's laughing. I do need to give you a few things though. He wants me to give you a couple more books. He said you do like reading. Yeah, so I know I need to throw you a few more books. He said, you've got quite a lot of books as it is, because you do like to research and you do like to read. He said, but some of those books are stacking up now, aren't they? In fact, you're running out of room for these books now,
Yes,
aren't you? You started to stack them on the floor, because I'm seeing books stacked up on the floor.
Yeah.
And,
I get moaned at.
and you know, the problem you have with the books as well, when you start reading them and then you get tired, you turn over the corner, don't you?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but I used to a lot.
Okay. And if you look at some of your books, they've got that many corners turned over.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's giving you something else to put in there. Okay. Okay. And I need to give you a red rose. It's a dried red rose.
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
A red rose. A
Dried.
red rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. You understand what that's for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very relevant to you. Yeah. And he said you have so many friends and loved ones in the world of spirit from every source of the world here. He said, and they all admire you.
Bless you.
He said, I just want you to understand that. And I do have another lady here, and I know this lady. And I thought I was going to say bumpy into a smile. That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to bring her through, because she's just not a part of the fact that I know her, but I think a lot of us know her.
Yes.
And I do feel that I have Wendy through, for those who know Wendy. And as I was talking to you, I could feel her presence, even driving to here. I felt her presence. And she's just an amazing lady. Absolutely amazing lady. And she's actually got a lovely smile on her face. And she wants to be a part of this. She was always a part of this hall. All for years and years and years. And she said, just because she's not here, she's still a part of this.
Yeah.
So I feel that she still attends.
Oh, yes.
You know, all the time. Okay. She said that I don't know if you still do circles here, but it feels like she wants to be part of the circle again.
There's an online healing circle, but we're working on the physical one now.
Okay, because I feel that she wants to attend again, the circles again. Okay. She said her healing, she's had healing, so she is not in any pain or no breathing problems or anything anymore. So she's good. And she also says she feels very reunited with some of the families that she's lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's still very much here as well, others that still need her at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, because I do feel there are family members that are in need of her, and
Yes.
she's very much there supporting them.
Hint taken, Wendy.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing her grandson.
Right. Okay. So I think that she's going to be very much present here. Okay, so I'm going to ask Wendy if there's anything she wants to give anybody, and she just said her love. As I said that, she just said her love.
Yeah.
Her love. So I'm going to ask her to step back, and also for your judgment.
God bless.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, in fact, that's the third time that Wendy and Dad have turned up together in the space of about 2 months.
Wow.
Bless you.
Okay, and the first person I've also got now is, I've got a mum here, and this mum is craving a child. A very young child she's craving in the world of spirit. Okay, so I feel that this person either here, present here this evening, would understand the loss of a young child, firstly. And they would have also lost their mother at one point, but their mother is holding this young child. Don't know why I'm looking at you, sorry, I'm staring straight through you. Okay, so does anybody understand that, first of all, please? Okay, I'm the one. Okay, I'm hope I'll see you, but if not, you understand. You understand how many words spirit, please? And you understand the young child. Okay, so the first message I have for you is that you know from this old young child. Because I can see that really young child. And she said, they're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And she said, she wants to put your mind at peace. Yeah, because you always won. Yeah. Yeah. And she said, they're absolutely fine. Okay, so they're absolutely fine.
Mum's come in because I feel that she was a very supportive lady. Very close to you as well. Yeah. And she knows it was a very difficult time for you. And she understands that. Okay, but she wants you to know that you're okay. That's what they really want to know. She said to you that you are fine. And you will be fine. She said that you worry about lots of things.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. She said every single thing you worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said she wants you to stop worrying. You know, she said life is so very precious. And she said she wants you to stop worrying about everything and live your life. And start appreciating the things you do have. Because you have so much. You know so much to offer, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take it down off. What you often do.
Yeah.
She's also saying that if she could pick you up off a pedestal, if you want to say it, just leave it. Yeah. And don't shy away from who you are. Yeah, you have more than what to give. But sometimes you don't think that.
No.
Yeah. You doubt your confidence and doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And she said you should turn that on. She said, because you have to appreciate who you are and what you have to offer. And there's a lot there.
Thank you.
And the world is a better place with you.
Oh,
A lot better place.
thank you.
I need to give you some beads. You understand the beads,
Yes,
please?
I do.
Yeah? Okay. Those are beads. So much I want these beads. I don't know if she wore beads like that.
Yeah.
I've got beads on me here.
Right, yeah.
And with her hair as well, she just sort of gave me that sort of, I'm looking at her hair going. And it's not shortish, if you know what I mean, but it's quite, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's also saying she's giving me a view of second. I know you're wearing glasses, I can see that. But I also want to give you another set of glasses.
Yeah.
Would you understand that,
Yes.
please?
Yeah.
She said, because it's almost like you're not seeing clear.
That's right.
Yeah, so you either have to replace all your tuition.
That's right. Yeah.
And she's also said to me, you're worried about your knees, I don't know what's going on with your knees at the moment.
Yes.
And then she said, okay, I know something to worry about. She said, but she said, you get quite some pain in your knees, you're a bit concerned about the pain in your knees. Okay, and she said, okay. She said, that's okay, that's fine. Yeah, she'll work with your knees. She can give you your knees.
Thank you.
And somebody she's been putting some pictures back on her. Is that yourself as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But she's just showing me pictures around this. Okay. And I've got this clock. Okay, there's something going on with this clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's driving me. I feel it's irritating me. I don't see the clock. And that's that feeling. I don't know whether that from you or she's mentioning this clock. Something's going on with the clock. And I don't know if it's ticking and it just stops, and then it starts again, and it stops again, it starts again, and it stops again. And you think, for goodness sake, sorry, for goodness sake, what's wrong with this clock?
Yeah.
Why did it work?
Yeah.
So she's laughing, and she said she can see your frustration, and it's almost like this clock's been about the window, so every time I start reading it.
It's 10 o'clock.
She just said, you may forget a lot. That's all she just said, you may forget a lot. It might not sort itself out. And they give you a box as well. This is not a large box, this is quite a small box. It looks a bit like a jewelry box.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can understand that. Don't you? Okay. So I know she wants to give you that kind of box. I can hear the name Peter. I don't know if you can understand the name Peter around you.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, okay, so she's just giving me that name for you as well. And she said there is there is a celebration next week coming up.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's almost like if you were to go to the celebration or not to go to the celebration. And I know things are difficult what we've had to endure over the last couple of years, but it's almost, do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? Should I do this or should I not do this? Okay. She said, do it. And she was so clear, it was like, do it.
Okay.
She said, if you don't do it, you have to wait again.
Yeah.
Yeah? She said, do it. Well, just enjoy life. She said, don't, we keep putting things off, and then sometimes you regret putting those things off.
Yes, true.
So she said, enjoy that celebration, unwind.
Okay.
Why not? So she should enjoy it. Okay, and I need to take something for the dentist, please. I've got a dental trip coming up or something with the dentist.
It's not me, it's my son.
Okay, do you understand that? It's almost like I've got a problem with back tooth or something going on, showing you there? Yeah, I'm talking about teeth, sorry. I've got a gentleman in the world of spirit, I think it's connected with you, please. So, would you understand that in the world of spirit? Or, yeah. Would you understand him having false teeth, please?
I didn't really know him, so.
Okay. Because what I'm seeing here, there was an issue, something to do with false teeth about him. That could be that, or it could be somebody else who understand in the world of spirit. But there would have been somebody that would have an issue with their false teeth.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Okay, they broke. That was what the issue was.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so just have a think about that and you might figure out.
Yeah,
You got it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So she's actually quite, she found that quite funny actually. There must have been a bit of a situation there, but I feel like the teeth had snapped. Yeah, so you get to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, just all memory is what they're doing, I'm looking on. Yeah, okay. I want to get around to many people as I can, so just an answer if there's anything that she can give you as a gift. And it's amazing to me what they give you. Right? You never quite know what they're going to give you as a gift. I've got people who pluck me some very soft. She said, "Because your feet get really, really cold."
Yeah, very.
And it always worries that we keep the same thing. So some people want to do a whole bunch of fluffy socks. That's what she wants to do. And I'll say, "God bless you."
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I've got, yeah. I'll do it a second. I've got another lady that's come through. And myself, I'm looking at her, I know I'm younger. I'm not sure if that's when I passed, but this lady is got so much life in her. I feel I want to dance with her. Must have.
Yes,
I've got back to
sorry.
You're getting whoever's meant to come through to. So would you understand this lady? I'm seeing her younger.
Yeah.
So she would pass the spirit in, please?
Yes.
Okay. But I want to dance with her. And I think she's a really good dancer. She really loved life as well. She took every single moment of it and she thoroughly enjoyed it. But her life was taken very, very quickly.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, really. One minute she came next week she wasn't it?
That's right.
And you know, I'm listening to her, she's saying to me, I just wasn't right, I just wasn't right. It's like she was young because she passed quickly.
That's right.
So there's still so much she wanted to do.
That's right.
And she had all these goals and things that she wanted to aim for, didn't she?
Yes.
Okay. And I think that I want to always like to sing with her as well, please.
Yes,
I feel like I want to dance around the kitchen singing
Yeah.
and just do everything with her.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's so theatrical. I've got arms flying everywhere with her.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got some issue going on here with my stomach with her as well. So
Yeah.
there's a problem here around this area.
Yeah.
Okay. But she's just saying to me, you know, it's almost like she wants to pick you up and dance around you. That's how I work with her.
Yeah.
It's like she's always saying, remember those days.
Yes.
Remember the fun.
Yeah.
Remember the fun. It's like, where you are, at home. Yeah. And it's almost like I could hear the radio playing in the background. She's
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah.
So her issue really is just enjoy. Yeah, but that radio on starting maybe with good times and fun times.
Okay.
And there's something like,
Okay.
and I'll leave it up.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I've got a little lady, I say a little lady, I shouldn't say a little bit, okay. But she does feel quite small to me and I'm little, but I think she's smaller than me. That's saying something. I'm hearing the name Rose, but it might not be again her name, it could be associated around her family, please. This lady I would say would pass in the world of spirit, but she passed quite elderly, this lady, so I almost want to go between the ages of 80 and 90, please. I know that she would have had a breathing problem with this lady, and I also know that I would have had a really bad back because I feel like I've shrunk the gauge. She's got a sense of humour, this lady, but I feel like I've got a bit of a walking stick or a Zimmer frame as I'm walking, please. So I feel like I'm curled over a little bit with her. Okay. And I know that I have to walk really slowly because my feet don't work, she just said. Again, she's got this lovely sense of humour about her. Anybody understand this lady, please? No? Carry on. Anybody else understand this lady? Yeah. Okay, just checking. Just to remember what I said. Just checking. Okay, right. So first of all, I'm going to stick with this lady for a second, okay? Because she's got a lovely personality. So I feel that this lady feels like she was either in a like a ward and control place, or she would have been in an elderly people's home. Because I feel more elderly people's home, I think. So what I'm seeing, you know, when you get the day room, you have lots of chairs around, and when they're sitting and doing their knitting and bingo or whatever, that's how I'm seeing her there as well, please.
Yeah, it says like on the ladies, I'm careful.
Right, okay. You understand the name Rose? It might not be her name, but it feels it was either her or
And it sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah?
So many of them, but the description really sounds like it's lady.
Right, okay. Because I do feel like I'm quite little with this lady. I feel she says she's shrunk with age, but she's quite a funny lady, actually. She's got quite a sense of... Right, okay. And again, I thought she would have like a walking aid or something to get her about. And I know her feet used to swell up really badly, so she used to have those like Velcro slippers on her feet, and she's sort of shuffling around with that. But she had a bit of a bite to her tongue, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she certainly did. Because I feel like if somebody sort of said something to her, she would often give them a quick reaction, quick speech or whatever, you know what I mean? And then she would give them this bit of a bite, wouldn't she? Yeah. And she wouldn't take no nonsense either. She was definitely very much knew her own mind. Yeah. And I feel that she was quite strong in character as well. But she did enjoy things. Understand that? I want to watch the TV with her. So I don't know if she would often watch the telly, but there's something like she really liked on telly.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Okay. Oh, I tell you what I'm listening to is a Max Highgraves.
Yeah,
Yeah? Okay, that's what I'm hearing. So that's where I feel she loved Max Highgraves, okay? And so I'm just hearing her watching him. Okay. What should she say? I've also got a bowl of fruit here. So I feel that, I don't know if it's a regular thing that she would be given, or whether it's something she would like.
always on the table.
Or, okay, that's what she's just given me as well. And the message of reading her coming in tonight is just to say thank you. Thank you. Because she said there was, and she was, I'm just going to say which I'm hearing her say here. She said there was a lot more people there that never appreciated you. Not that she classed herself as old here. Oh, bless her. So she wanted you to understand that she did. Yeah, she said you worked hard. You worked very hard, and you was always thoughtful of us. There, always thoughtful of them. And you cared. And she said, you don't get that now. She said, but you cared. Okay. And she said, oh, I miss you a lot, wasn't I? She just really wants to come in to say thank you to you.
Oh, thank you.
And that was appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you still are.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. And I'll ask them to say God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know why I do apologise. I keep on staring through this lady. That's for a reason. Okay. Right. I'm hearing somebody calling Sally to me at the moment. And that's all I'm hearing at the moment is someone singing to me, Sally. I can't even know if it's sung the song, but I know it's an old song. Again, I've got another lady that's come in. This lady I feel would have passed away around about that age. Oh gosh, I can't get the song out of my head. Who's on the song? That's Sally, that war song. Thank you, thank you. Yes, that's what I'm hearing. So this woman loved that song. She loved it. Okay. Also, this lady, I feel that as she passes the world of spirit, I do think that there was a condition that she had. I'm also feeling that I may have had a cancer condition, please, with her. I do feel that she had family. And I do, okay. And I also feel that she would have enjoyed her knitting. So I know that as she got later on in her life and as her condition became worse, I found that it was very difficult for her to have a lot of movement. And therefore I would see her sitting in a chair quite a lot of the time with her knitting. She was quite content just doing her knitting. But I do feel I used to fall asleep quite a lot in the chair as well as I'm looking at her here. I would put glasses on my face, so I know I have glasses on. Okay. Can anybody understand this, please?
Yeah.
So I don't think you can actually understand. So you understand the fact that she had this condition too? Okay. And she became not totally immobile, but it was really difficult for her as the older she got and how her condition became worse.
Towards the end, I lived down here and she lived north, so I didn't really see her at the end.
Right.
But I know Sally, and she used to sing.
Oh, she does.
I used to sing Sally.
That song. Okay. So would you understand that so I'm seeing her missing a lot, so
She did like a
she did like a knitting. So I'm seeing sort of progressively worse for her, when she got less mobile. I feel that she would spend a lot of the time in that chair, knitting, because that was where she was content. Yeah. And would you understand, I do feel that she passed peacefully then. Yeah, yeah. She said that she passed, it's almost like she just closed her eyes and fell asleep and didn't wake up again. What a lovely way to go, she said to me. Okay. I do know that she had family, because I feel that I've got family around her, yeah, and I've got all different ages as well, this family, aren't they? Because I just feel that I've got like grandchildren, I've got all different ages here going on there, so it feels like it's a bit mad. And she's also saying to me that, what a wonderful, wonderful, and she's doing all of this, so I know that it meant a lot to her. And she loved that interaction. And she said, talking to me, should we marry, please? Yeah, because she's talking to me about her husband, please, as well. And she used to say, he's moaning. Oh, I'm just going to say she's moaning. So actually, if I just look directly, she's saying he's moaning. Oh, no. So I think really have to cringe a bit, okay? But she said, I just never used to listen anyway, so put me deaf ears on. She said, yeah. And then he used to say, sorry, she's making me giggle. He used to say to her when she's sitting in the chair, "You're asleep, you're listening to me, are you asleep? Are you listening to me?" She goes, "Oh, she can do this." Okay. She's a lovely character within herself, very lovely lady. The reason she's coming tonight because she wants you to know that she still unites around her. And she still goes to see what's going on around her. And it's really important to her as well that people unite together. Does that understand where that's coming from? Yeah? She said, even though I feel like the family are close, there are bits of elements there.
Right,
Right, exactly. She's talking about where they're sort of on like that, and it feels like it's moving there. Okay. But she said it's really important that they still communicate.
Yeah.
So they still talk to each other. Okay. She's also talking to me about another female in the family, please. And would you understand somebody that's just due to have a child, or recently had a child, or? Okay. Might be that on there. Alright. She's talking about the birth of another child. So this is not family connected, it could be somebody close by. So you might have to just have a think about that and think about it. Okay. Okay. She's also talking to me about yourself as well. She said because she knows that you're doing a lot. Yeah. And you're very upset. Do you do that with the artwork?
No,
You do the artwork. She's talking about the artwork here. And they're very creative, very, very creative. Yeah. So she's really happy with what you do. Okay. But there's something else, isn't there? Who does the stars? I'm seeing the stars.
We just
You're doing the stars as well. Okay. But she said it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, the stars. Yeah. And did you have the stars that were glowing as well? And yeah, because she did show me that. So like all light up, and absolutely got into it. She did like the universe as a lit up. So she's really happy with that.
Yeah.
Really happy with that. Okay. And I want to put some bows in somebody's hair as well. Do you understand the bows in the hair, please? You may not remember it, so I think we've got to go back a bit.
Yeah, we used to all that.
Bows in the hair? Yeah, okay. And who did the ringlets? Oh, the mum did, okay. That's a bit old-fashioned, the ringlets, the way they were done, isn't it? Pipe cleaners. I got pipe cleaners. I remember like twizzles and everything, didn't it? Like, yeah, quite painful actually. It wasn't really take them out. She said, but didn't they look nice? Didn't they look nice? Right.
That's amazing.
Okay. Again, she's talking about someone's tooth now. Would you understand somebody who lost a tooth or they've got something that is I've got a single tooth here. She's talking to me about a tooth. Did you have a tooth problem? No?
Got this soon.
Have you? Okay, that's just what she's talking about. She's got one tooth, but she's just showing me one tooth now. Okay, so you might find out when you go actually. Right. No, I think that's about all. If she really wants to come and say that she's very much with you and she's watching what you do here with this artwork, she's absolutely amazed by it. I think she absolutely loves it and for you to carry on with it. She said, because where your mind goes, it goes into the stars. Yeah. Yeah. And she just goes off into the universe as well. She said that she just sees things that we just don't see here. Yeah. And that's the inspiration that comes from it. Yes. Okay, so I will say, bless you. And was also for a gift, as well to give to you. She's going to give you some more paintbrushes. She said, do you need some new paintbrushes? Would you wearing the ones out that she's already got? Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And what we need to give you, one of those like, what they call it, glittery pens.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that's so she can start signing her artwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we do that as well.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, already. Okay. Okay, I'm hearing a very unusual name now, and again, it might not be the person could be connected around the family. And I'm hearing the name Percy. Percy. And I'm hearing the name Franklin. Franklin and Percy. Right. Very different names here. Anybody understand those names first of all? Franklin or Percy? Right, okay, let me just see who's talking. Okay. Right. Okay, so I've got again a gentleman that's come in, please. And the first thing I'm noticing with him is he's making me aware of his stomach area, so I know there would have been issues in that area for him, please. Okay, just asking what this man is quite musical because I feel like I want to play an instrument with this man. In fact, I quite like the classical music with this man. And I know I'm suffering from an incredibly bad headache as well, so I know that would have been something that we would have suffered with, please. And I thought, okay, he's quite disoriented as well, even with his speech. So the classical music, and so I feel like I want to play the violin. I need to play the violin with this man, and the classical music that he absolutely loves, but I feel that he would have either suffered, again, I'm struggling speaking with this man. I feel that he would have either struggled with dementia or something because his mind would float, and there was some issue with his speech as well, that it would deteriorate. and he couldn't get his coordination properly, but it was the love of music and the violin that is so beautiful, and I can hear it. And whether it's not used to just listen to it, I feel like I actually want to play this violin, please. Anybody understand that with this man? No? Okay. Just see what else more I can get there.
I can, I know a gentleman that used to play the violin in the London Philharmonic Orchestra in London.
Yeah, it feels that quality.
Pardon?
It feels that quality.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's nothing that you
something
can
just
say.
up my go, it feels like it.
And obviously we'd like that type of music.
Yeah.
I'm not certain, Percy sound, I just can't think where Percy is,
Yes.
but I know the name.
Right.
But Frank,
It's Franklin, it's a very unusual
and
name.
I do believe isn't there an organ with Franklin on it?
Right, okay,
It's an
odd name to hear.
Yeah.
And it was, that the music was beautiful and it was so precise. And
He could play the
it
piano.
was just so natural. It was almost the second part of it, if that makes sense. And I know it's of that quality.
Absolutely, yeah.
But his mind, and I just could feel for him because it's like this constant pressure, this headache that he was in. And do you know he suffered with like dementia or something?
He was he suffered a little bit of anxiety, which we call it now.
Right.
But I do feel with him, he was a real worrier.
Yeah, it's just like this absolute pressure. And it's like, it's so bad to the point where my coordination, even though I'm trying to speak from him, it's like I can't get
His
my
mind
words out.
works. His mind works before his tongue does.
Yeah, it's almost like I can't get my coordination right, and my mind is just not, it's like racing, and there's such pressure here, but when it comes to music, it's just like, oh wow. And it's really that you kind of feel, yeah, okay. He said this was a big part of an issue with him, yeah, because I don't think he could operate in life like some of us can, if that makes sense. The music made sense to him. He was brilliant, you know, and that was his life. But operating in normal things, he struggled. He couldn't make sense of that, you know. And yet, I feel that he did so well successfully in what he did, and yet in this side of the coin, he just couldn't master. He just couldn't master. So last time he was actually reading this evening to speak to you, okay? He said he understands that to master a skill, it has to be part of him. And he's trying to say to you, for you to be part of your skill, which you are, is to master. Okay, which you do. Yeah. He said he's not, don't worry. I think that's a good thing saying, you know, it's terrible, everything that's this pressure. He's saying to you that you can't control everything as much as you want. And you can't always show the right directions to people that need that direction. As much as all the qualities and skills you have, you just can't make people do what you like them to. You know? And it's really hard, and you struggle with that, sort of stepping back and watching people make wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Well, that close to you. And yet knowing that you just can't change that. Yeah. And he said, but for you, you have to almost like let that go. You know, that's a really bad word for you because you can't let go. Just let it go. He said, you have to just have that acceptance.
Yeah.
And then you do what you do. Okay. And that's really his advice. To pass it on once again. I need to clear the necklace. This might be something that you already know. It's a necklace here, but I've got more than one charm on the end of it. But the charms I've got on the end of it are quite relevant. They feel quite special to me.
I've actually got a necklace that he bought my mother,
Right.
and it used to be with others, but I only wear it as the heart on my tray. Yeah.
So I know that it's just not treated.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, that you're aware of it. Okay. And I'm going to leave his love sacred and tell you not to worry.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks very much. Okay.
Well, thank you very much, everyone.
And I can confirm that it's called a Franklin's harmonica, also known as the bowl organ. It was a very historical instrument. However, Benjamin Franklin, that famous one, invented his own design. What people don't know is that Benjamin Franklin's great-grandfather or grandfather, something like that, lived in Littleport.
Wow.
So, yeah, the whole sailing over and all that stuff that happened hundreds of years ago, there's quite a few of them, including, obviously, the Harley-Davidson family. They started here as well. So yes, a wonderful. Thank you, Dora. I've got to say, you know, it was so wonderful to get Dad and Wendy come through at the same time again, because they were often seen causing trouble together. And of course, as he's not able to give you directions tonight, he would want to shine a light on your path home in some way as well. But yeah, he's got loads and loads of torches, and one of them in particular he called the Dragon. Something like 2 million candle power or something. It was very, very bright. Yeah, he always had one aside the bed. To this day, she still does as well. So check your battery, love. She charged it. There you go. Charged it at last. So thank you, and you know, wonderful to hear from the both of them coming through. I'll have to dig out that picture of them two with that Barrett over there, because that thing that we used to move the chairs with.
Oh yeah.
Once upon a time, he propped Wendy's chair into it, lifted her up, and took for a race around this hall as they was clearing it up. There is a picture. I'll show it to you. But no, thank you so much. And I know we all appreciate it. A really, truly, deeply evidential and very, very uplifting demonstration of mediumship. So thank you so much from me, but from all of us. Dora Sheridan. And I didn't have to touch the wood on the stage again to make sure that you weren't connecting to anyone else. As the first, what happens if we have contingency plans in place, but we're working on that. But thank you so much. Well, friends, what a wonderful demonstration and proof indeed that life is indeed eternal. So now we will have our I think he's nicked my false teeth now. We will have our closing prayer, which will be followed by the raffle. And of course, Bully's special prize of the evening is that one. See, it's got its own easel now. That's how important Bully's special prize is. Wonderful piece of work there this week from Hannah. It draws you in. It really does. Just don't stare too long. Friends, thank you so much for being part of this evening, being part of this wonderful venture that we have of proving that life truly is eternal. Let us join together for our closing prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, to see that life does indeed go on after the transition from this physical into those higher realms of light. As we go out into the world, I ask that a blessing be placed on each person here present, each person who is watching, and each person who will watch, so that love and light and protection might shine forth like a banner and spread to their friends and families. And as we go out into the world and carry forth that message of hope, we are reminded as ever that we do not ask for you to move the mountain, to just give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again, which will be as ever in your name. Amen.
Amen.
And be reminded, of course, that next week you can but do not have to dress up. It's going to be a wild one. Ooh, yeah, it's a wild one. I get a song in somewhere. I have to admit, I was about to burst into a rendition of Mustang Sally, so I'm glad you corrected me on the version
On the version of
which,
Sally.
on which song of Sally it was, because I could have got myself in big trouble. Friends, a big thank you to all of you, each and every one of you, for supporting us. And so now, without further ado, it is over to Raffle Corner. Eight.
838, anyone?
Ooh! When was the last time you saw me win a proper? What should? Well, I'll get myself in trouble, but it does remind me of that. Thank you.
Next one. 932.
932.
932, anyone?
Hey, go pick a prize.
Next one. 909.
909.
909, anyone?
Hey, here she is.
Next is 879.
879. Hey, you've broken that duck at last. Wait, one more, please.
944.
944.
944, anyone?
Pop it back.
Okay.
Number 1.
Still a few prizes still left.
Black.
Actually, this week.
926.
Yep.
Sorry?
926.
926, anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Good choice.
Number 54.
954.
9.
What you having, lover?
Pick yourself, please.
864.
The 864, did you say?
864.
Like 864, anyone? Oh, is that mine? Oh, I'll go for this.
Right, next one.
2 prizes left.
856.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Okay.
Yeah. Again. Oh, okay. Any prizes?
2. Still 2.
It's 893.
893.
893, anyone? Oh.
And 88.
880. 880.
880.
884.
0.
4 hours. All right then.
What time is it? You have to get your microphone. Well, a special prizes. Drum roll, please.
874.
874.
Yep.
Hey!
Look at this, thank you.
Brilliant.
Well, friends, the time has come to say goodnight, for every service must end. But we will be back. Excuse me, I'm a bit out of breath after doing that lap around the hall. We will be back, of course, next week for Fright Night. But until then, thank you all so much. Big thank you, Dora Sheridan! The wonderful Samantha's reading. Of course, Raffle and Bully Corner, Sam and Hannah. And of course, our technical director of communications, with whom I could not survive, Jack. And of course, all of you who come in and support us week in, week out. We'll see you next week, but until then, may the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. God bless, good night, and it's time for a coffee. God bless you all.